Examples of the enabling power are not found only in the scriptures. Daniel W. Jones was born in 1830 in Missouri, and he joined the church in California in 1851. In 1856, he participated in the rescue of handcart companies that were stranded in Wyoming by severe storms. After the rescue party found the suffering saints, provided what immediate comfort they could, and made arrangements for the sick and the feeble to be transported to Salt Lake City, Daniel and several other young men volunteered to remain with and safeguard the company's possessions. The food and supplies left with Daniel and his colleagues were, to say the very least, meager and were rapidly expended. I will now quote from Daniel Jones' personal journal and his description of the events that followed. Quote, "Game soon became so scarce that we could kill nothing. We ate all the poor meat. One would get hungry eating it. Finally, that was all gone. Nothing now but hides were left. We made a trial of them. A lot was cooked and eaten without any seasoning, and it made the whole company sick. Many were so turned against the stuff that it made them sick even to think of it. Things looked dark, for nothing remained but the poor raw hides taken from starved cattle. We asked the Lord to direct us what to do. The brethren did not murmur, but felt to trust in God. We had cooked the hide after soaking and scraping the hair off until it was soft, and then ate it, glue and all. This made it rather inclined to stay with us longer than we desired. Finally, I was impressed how to fix the stuff and gave the company advice, telling them how to cook it. For them to scorch and scrape the hair off, this had a tendency to kill and purify the bad taste that scalding gave it. After scraping, boil 1 hour in plenty of water, throwing the water away, which had extracted all the glue. Then wash and scrape the hide thoroughly, washing in cold water, then boil to a jelly and let it get cold, and then eat with a little sugar sprinkled on it. This was considerable trouble, but we had little else to do, and it was better than starving." Close quote. Now, brothers and sisters, all that I have read thus far is a preparation for the next line from Daniel W. Jones' journal. It illustrates how those pioneer saints may have known something about the enabling power of the atonement that we, in our prosperity and ease, are not as quick to understand. Quote, "We ask the Lord to bless our stomachs and adapt them to this food." Close quote. My dear brothers and sisters, I know what I would have prayed for in those circumstances. I would have prayed for something else to eat. Heavenly Father, please send me a quail or a buffalo. It never would have occurred to me to pray that my stomach would be strengthened and adapted to what we already had. What did Daniel W. Jones know? He knew about the enabling power of the atonement of Jesus Christ. He did not pray that his circumstances would be changed. He prayed that he would be strengthened to deal with his circumstances. Just as Alma and his people, Amulek and Nephi, were strengthened, Daniel W. Jones had the spiritual insight to know what to ask for in that prayer. Quote, "We hadn't the faith to ask him to bless the rawhide, for it was hard stock. On eating now, all seemed to relish the feast. We were 3 days without eating before the second attempt was made. We enjoyed this sumptuous fare for 6 weeks." Close quote. The enabling power of the atonement of Christ strengthens us to do things we could never do on our own. Sometimes I wonder if in our latter-day world of ease, in our world of microwave ovens and air-conditioned cars and comfortable homes, I wonder if we ever really learn to acknowledge our daily dependence upon the enabling power of the atonement.